Stix had $200 in his account when he made one decision, and 5 years later, he outgrew a guy sitting next to him with $20,000 saved. It wasn't the amount Stix had. It was the choice he made with it. While everyone else was chasing bigger paychecks, Stix was making bigger decisions. And what happened next isn't a theory. I'm going to show you the actual numbers, the actual timeline, and the exact moment Stix's decision overtook the money. Before I tell you what Stix did, I need to tell you what almost every person around him believed, because this belief is the reason most people stay dusty for life, even when they're loaded on paper. Here's the belief Stix grew up hearing: you can't build wealth until you make more money. Get the raise, get the better job, get the 6 figures, then start saving, then start investing. It sounds logical. More income should mean more wealth, right? Except here's what the data actually shows. Roughly 45% to 51% of people earning over $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck, not broke people, loaded people, on paper. And it gets worse. Even among people pulling in $250,000 or more, 33% report living the exact same way. So if income alone built wealth, why are almost half of 6-figure earners still one missed paycheck from panic? Because they believe a lie. More income equals more wealth. And Stix, even empty pockets Stix, was about to prove that lie wrong. Now watch what that belief actually makes people do, because this mistake is quietly draining people who think they're winning. Here's the mistake. People wait for the money to feel big enough to start. And when the raise finally comes, they don't save it. They spend it. It's called lifestyle inflation, and the numbers on this are brutal. Studies show people spend 80% to 90% of every raise they get. Out of every extra dollar earned, only about 20 cents actually goes towards savings or paying down debt. The other 80 cents? Gone. Upgraded rent, a new car note, private school tuition, premium subscriptions stacking up quietly in the background. And here's the part that should scare you. Financial counselors found that once someone spends 90% to 100% of a raise on lifestyle upgrades, their income can keep climbing, and their real wealth stops growing completely. That's the trap. Stix watched people around him get raise after raise, and stay exactly as dusty as they started, just with nicer stuff. This is the part I promised you. The actual proof. Not motivation. Numbers. Stick with me for the next 2 minutes because this table is going to change how you see every dollar you touch. While everyone else was waiting to feel loaded enough to start, Stix made his decision at 32, and he only put in $200 a week. Not thousands, $200. Let's run his actual numbers. At age 62, 30 years of growth, Stix put in a total of $312,000 of his own money over those 30 years. Using a realistic, inflation-adjusted return of 7%, his account grew to $1,064,000 per year, $107, over $1 million, and he only personally contributed $312,000 of it. Using the raw, non-adjusted 10% market average, that number jumps to $1,982,692. Let that sit for a second. Stix didn't put in $2 million, he put in $312,000. The rest? That's the decision working for him while he slept. Now here's the part that breaks people's brains, the cost of waiting just 5 more years. At age 67, 35 years of growth, Stix only had to add $52,000 more in personal contributions. That's it, $52,000 extra. But his final balance at a 10% nominal return jumped to $8,334,852. Read that again. $52,000 more in effort. $1.35 million more in reward. That's not luck. That's not a lottery ticket. That's what happens when growth accounts for 89% of your final portfolio, meaning your actual out-of-pocket money is only a small slice of the final number. The other 89%? Time did that. Not Stix's paycheck. His decision. So, if it's not about how much money you have, what actually is the move? This next part is the one decision that separates people who stay empty pockets forever from people who become loaded. Here's the truth banks don't advertise. The decision to start is worth more than the amount you start with. Not, how much should I save? Not, what's the perfect investment? The real question is just this. Do I start now with what I have, or do I wait until I have more? And here's proof this isn't just motivational talk. Two economists, Richard Thaler and Stix Benartzi, built a real program called Save More Tomorrow. Here's how it worked. Instead of asking people to cut their spending today, which nobody wants to do, they had people commit to saving a small piece of their future raises before the raise even landed. No pain felt right now. No lifestyle sacrifice today, just a decision made in advance. And the results were massive. People's retirement savings grew dramatically, just from one small commitment made early. That's the rule. You don't need a bigger paycheck to build wealth. You need a decision small enough to start today and consistent enough to compound tomorrow. That's exactly what Stix did with $200 a week. Not a lot, just consistent. Let me show you this play out 3 different ways, because you need to see this isn't just Stix's story. Example 1, the dusty high earner. Someone pulling in $250,000 a year. Nice house, nice car, and they're in that 33% still living paycheck to paycheck because every raise got absorbed by lifestyle before it could turn into wealth. Example 2, the loaded small starter, Stix. $200 a week starting at 32. Total personal money put in over 30 years, $312,000. Final result at a conservative 7% real return, over $1 million. Example 3, the cost of waiting. Same person, same $200 a week, but they wait until 37 instead of 32, just 5 years later. They still had to put in almost the same effort, but they walked away with $1.35 million less at the end. Same decision, different timing, wildly different result. 3 different incomes, 3 different outcomes, one variable that decided it all, the decision and when it was made. Before you go, here's the one thing nobody tells people starting with empty pockets, and it's the reason the wealth gap keeps getting wider. Here's the shocking truth. Compound interest calculators, the exact tool that showed Stix's $200 a week becoming $1 million, are almost never shown to low-income earners. Why? Because most financial programs assume you need spare money to invest, so instead of showing growth, they only teach survival, avoiding payday loans, splitting bills, crisis management. The tool that could change your life is quietly kept away from the people who need it most. So here's your key takeaway. You don't need more dollars to build wealth. You need one decision, made today, that your future self compounds. Stix didn't wait to be loaded. He made the decision while he was still empty pockets and let time turn it into wealth. Your move isn't make more money. Your move is start now with what you have. If this showed you that empty pockets doesn't mean stuck, follow for the next Money Truth, where I break down exactly how a 28K earner used good debt to quit her job. Real numbers, real timeline, no guesswork.